On December the 8th, Pope Francis opened the Holy Door in St. Peter's Basilica, and locally the Holy Land prepares to celebrate the Jubilee Year of Mercy. Great celebration in Bethlehem for the traditional lighting of the Christmas tree in Nativity Square. At sunset on Sunday, December the 6th, Hanukkah celebrations began. The feast is celebrated by Jewish communities worldwide. The Congregation of the Daughters of St. Anne celebrate the 150th anniversary in Bethlehem with the Custos of the Holy Land, Father Pizzaballa, and many priests and faithful. A Mass was celebrated by Patriarch Fuad Dwal for the 125th anniversary of the founding of the Trappist Monastery at Latrun. An evening of Christmas music by the choirs of several schools in the Holy Land, and a concert by the winners of the string competition at the Magnificat Institute in Jerusalem. Pope Francis opened the Holy Door in St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican on December the 8th, exactly 50 years since the end of the Second Vatican Council. In the presence of over 50,000 pilgrims from all over the world, as well as civil and religious authorities, the extraordinary Jubilee of Mercy has officially begun.
Entrare per quella porta significa scoprire la profondità della misericordia del Padre che tutti.
To pass through that door means to discover the depth of the Father's mercy, which welcomes everyone and goes out personally to encounter each of them. He is the one who seeks us. He is the one who wants to meet us. This year will be a year in which to grow in the conviction of mercy. May our passing through the Holy Door, then, make us feel a part of this mystery of love and tenderness. Let us abandon all forms of fear and worry, because fear is not suitable for those who are loved.
Di tenerezza. Abbandoniamo ogni forma di paura e di timore, perché non si addice a chi è amato.
The ceremony of the opening of the Door of Mercy will also be held in several churches and sanctuaries around the world, according to Pope Francis's request. In the Holy Land, preparations for these events are being made. The main event will take place on Sunday, December the 13th, when the doors of the Basilica at Gethsemane in Jerusalem will be opened, in addition to those of the cathedrals in Haifa, Amman and Nicosia. In Bethlehem, the ceremony will be held at the Church of St. Catherine on Christmas Eve at 11:15 p.m, while in Nazareth the date is set for December the 27th at 10 a.m. at the Basilica of the Annunciation. This year the tree has once again been lit. The Christmas tree placed at the center of the square in Bethlehem, in front of the Basilica of the Nativity where tradition commemorates the birth of Jesus, has lit the Palestinian sky with lights and colors. It is a great celebration that takes place every year, bringing together hundreds of people from all backgrounds and faiths. I love everything about this place because I live here and because Jesus was born here. We usually have many festivities. This is a beautiful celebration.
It's our first time in Jerusalem and Bethlehem. Well, today we came over, we wanted to see this side of, the wall and get to see Palestine and get to hear about, the Palestinian side of some of the conflict, and as well wanted to get to see Bethlehem and the place where Jesus was born.
It's beautiful. I just wish people come even with the situation. I hope tourists come here because it's amazing, it's beautiful. In the end it's Christmas time, and here specifically we can see the church and the mosque in front of each other and it's fine, there is not a problem.
There are no borders among members of the audience. A Muslim woman sits next to a friar. A scout leader gives directions to a tourist arrived from afar. This indicates great cultural and human diversity.
Christmas here in Bethlehem has an extraordinary importance because it shows the word that Palestine, which everyone tries to identify only with the Muslims and especially in these days, is rather a rich and multicultural society. Therefore, spending Christmas in Bethlehem among Muslims, Christians, and other faiths has a special meaning.
Several authorities who came to celebrate Christmas here occupy the front row seats, despite their differences, conflicts and tensions. Palestinian Prime Minister Rami Hamdallah, as well as the representatives of the various religions and the Mayor of Bethlehem are present.
When the Christmas celebration comes from the heart of Bethlehem, from the Palestinians who really do not know the meaning of peace, who lost a lot of their young people just recently, who were really sad, and yet are capable to give all the world through the enlightening of the tree, which means the revival of the meaning of peace and love and hope for the whole world. It means our message, Palestinians do deserve to live in justice and equality. Despite the fact that Bethlehem is walled, we're still giving messages of peace to the whole world.
The desire for peace will never die, and among those present, it seems that hope is not an empty word, but rather a real experience.
Nice atmospheres, nice weather, everything is beautiful here. It's peaceful. Well, we try to be happy among all of the situation in Palestine. You know, the war, everything is going on, but it's still there's a place to be happy.
At sunset on Sunday, December the 6th, Hanukkah celebrations began. The feast is celebrated by Jewish communities worldwide. Hanukkah is an 8-day celebration that begins on the 25th of the month of Kislev, which usually falls between November and December. Although the event is known as the Festival of Lights, the word Hanukkah means dedication, and the theme is the reconsecration of the altar of the temple in Jerusalem after the overthrow of the Greek occupation in the 2nd century BC. The lighting of the menorah, a candelabra with 9 branches, is a tradition that every Jewish family performs at home, and the act symbolically expresses the continuity and vitality of Judaism. The so-called Hanukkah is placed on windows visible from the street, even though in ancient times it was customary to place it outside one's front door. Apart from the classical shape similar to that of the candelabra in the Temple of Jerusalem, candelabras today come in various shapes and sizes using various materials, all to help us remember the great miracle. In 165 BC, after a difficult battle, Judas Maccabee led the Jews to victory over their enemies, the Greek Seleucids. When the Jews entered the desecrated temple, they had to cleanse it by lighting the sacred candelabrum and thereby consecrate it to God once again. For this purpose, they found there only a small phial of blessed oil, but miraculously, the very scarce amount of oil lasted for 8 consecutive days, even though it should have been consumed in one day. In order to commemorate the event every year, Jerusalem hosts a feast of light along the walls that surround the city. The congregation of the Daughters of St. Anne is 150 years old. It was born in Italy and has 4 communities in the Holy Land, in Haifa, Bethlehem, Nazareth and Sepharis, and others in Jordan and Egypt. The anniversary was an opportunity to get back to basics and retrace their history.
الرهبنة رهبنة طبعاً إيطالية الأصل.
The congregation originated in Italy. It was established in 1866 by a nun named Rosa Gaturno. Today, Blessed Mother Rosa Gaturno. She's generally described as a mother because she was really a mother. Then her husband died when she was still young, leaving her with 3 children. She served the church, and at some point, she felt the call to founding a congregation.
وبمرحلة معينة بحياتها حست الدعوة إنها تأسس الرهبنة.
Along with many faithful, the sisters celebrated their 150th anniversary with a Mass at the Church of St. Catherine in Bethlehem, celebrated by the Custos of the Holy Land, Father Pierbattista Pizzaballa, and many other priests.
Abbiamo celebrato oggi con le suore e figlie di Sant'Anna.
Today we celebrated the feast of St. Anne with the sisters, the daughters of St. Anne, the mother of Mary, the one that gave us Christ. So we celebrate this feast in the time of Advent, which heralds the birth of Christ. The charisma of these sisters is related to children, and it reminds us that we must all become children again to rediscover the beauty of the birth.
Tornare bambini per riscoprire la bellezza della nascita.
رسالتنا إحنا كرسالة مساعدة الفقراء من جيل الطفولة.
Our mission is to serve the poor from childhood to old age and to respond to the various needs of the community. We serve the sick, we work at the schools with children, we serve in the churches, we help people with disabilities. We help children, young people and the elderly. This is our call, our mission.
نخدم شباب أطفال كبار في السن كل ما هو مطلوب منا كل حالات فقر كل أنواع الفقر.
During the Mass, the daughters of St. Anne offered the Custos a booklet with the rules of mercy and a log from an olive tree, symbolizing their vocation and mission in the Holy Land, as well as their desire for poverty and humility. In Jerusalem, it is a time of celebrations and anniversaries. December the 8th was not just a day to celebrate the Immaculate Conception and the beginning of the Year of Mercy. The Trappist monks celebrated the 125th anniversary of the founding of their monastery near Latroun. For this occasion, friars and nuns, accompanied by many faithful, participated in a special Mass at the monastery presided over by Patriarch Fouad Toual.
اليوم بالذات نحن موجودين بلاطرون لأنه دير اللاطرون هاد صار له 125 سنة تأسيس.
Today we are gathered here in Latroun. It's been 125 years since the founding of the monastery, and so we celebrate its 125th anniversary. There is a very pleasant atmosphere here. In the past there was a village called Latroun where people worked the land and produced wine. I have wonderful memories of this place because when we were young we would come here for Mass and spiritual exercises in addition to going on excursions.
لما كنا صغار كنا نيجي هنا ونقدس نعمل رياضات عندهم ونعمل رحلات عندهم.
أنا إلي هون أكثر من 60 سنة بالدير والعيد عيد العائلة.
I've been serving at the Latroun Monastery for more than 60 years. The Feast of the Immaculate Conception is a very special one for me personally because the monastery was founded on that day. On the eve of December the 8th, the first founding fathers arrived. They stayed for a few days near here and then made a procession all the way to the monastery here carrying the Blessed Sacrament with them.
جابنا حتى هون يتحضر كل شيء وعشية العيد اجوا بزياح حاملين القربان وكل أواني العبادة لهون دير.
The village is located about 20 kilometers from Jerusalem on the road to Tel Aviv. The monastery was built in 1890 on the ruins of an old Crusader castle, and it is the only Trappist monastery in Israel. The days are filled with silence, prayer and work, according to the Benedictine rule. Since the late 19th century, the monastery has produced wines, spirits and olive oil, for which it has a reputation, and is visited not only by Christian pilgrims, but also by Israelis and tourists. Prayers, invocations, witness and hospitality are the mission of our order. In other words, we are to offer everyone who comes here the opportunity to stay, spend a few days and do spiritual exercises in solitude and prayer. The monastery is open to all communities and religions and to anyone who wishes to get closer to God. Songs and sweet melodies rise from the holy city to bring cheer during the days leading up to Christmas. Students from 11 Christian schools in Jerusalem and Palestine gathered in the enchanting setting of the auditorium of the Notre Dame Pontifical Institute for an evening of Christmas carols in Arabic and other languages.
كان في 400 طفل من خلال أطفالنا نحن وصلنا للعائلات.
We have a total of 400 children, and through them we can reach out to their families. In this way we can invite everyone to share the joy of Christmas with smiles and hope in order to be witnesses of Jesus in the land of Jesus.
كشهود حقيقيين للمسيح في بلد المسيح.
Music has no religion and no spatial barriers. This was the feeling that pervaded the festive evening while listening with pleasure to the different choirs on stage.
This is beautiful. My son participates every year since he is a member of his school choir, and I gladly let him participate because Christmas is a holiday for us too. We are all united.
The 7th edition of the Magnificat competition for string instruments, sponsored by the Magnificat Institute, the music school of the Custody of the Holy Land, ended on Sunday, December the 6th. Violin, viola, cello and guitar, whose strings were masterfully played by at least 75 talented young musicians from Jerusalem, Bethlehem and Ramallah, competed in front of a prestigious international jury, with the president of Bethlehem Music Academy and representatives of the Conservatory of Vicenza. Despite unfavorable temperatures, a room full of people saw the Custos of the Holy Land, Father Pierbattista Pizzaballa, rewarding these young and talented children.
Terra Santa News is a production of the Christian Media Center in Jerusalem, Holy Land. For more information about Terra Santa News and the Christian Media Center, please check out our website at the bottom of the screen. You'll also be able to subscribe to our newsletter, to view live video feeds from the Holy Land, as well as visit our Facebook and YouTube pages and follow our Twitter feed. Come visit the website of Terra Santa News.